your first postseason start for the Twins was at home. You pitched the Twins to their first playoff win since 2004, which is wild and really cool for you to be able to do. What was that playoff atmosphere like in Minnesota?
It was insane. It was insane. Everything leading up to that first playoff game last year, like you could feel the anticipation. You could feel that everyone wanted it. You mentioned that it had been 18 postseason games
Mhm.
without winning. So as so many people wanted this to happen, and they showed up to the field. Like everyone that could make it to the stadium, they did. And like we just felt a tremendous amount of support and energy. I remember just walking my way from the dugout to the bullpen just to start getting ready for the game. The place was already packed, 30, 40,000 people, and they
Yeah.
were cheering. And all I was doing was just walking to the mound. And I'm like, and these people are here for real. These people are here because they want us to make, given something to cheer for, something exciting. And I felt it. I felt it every single pitch that I had. I felt that it had, like that intention. Like I was locked in, and that adrenaline was pumping, and like I was just throwing every pitch, with the intent, with the mentality, the conviction that, quality pitch after quality pitch.
Does that legitimately help you having the crowd be as into it as they are from literally your bullpen session to the last out of the game? Does that help you in any way on the mound during the game?
I think it does. I think it does. It helps you, but also you need to keep it under control, because if you
Yeah.
try to get too big, if you try to make the moment even bigger than it already is, it can make you get away from who you are or like the things that you do well. So I did have to find myself a couple times, just like bringing everything back to the center, like,
Yeah.
okay, breathe, keep it within yourself. But like when you get someone in an 0-2 count and those people start getting loud and they're moving the towel thing, like, like you wanna do it.
Yeah.
You feel that pump, and it keeps you engaged. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you committed from the very first pitch until the very last pitch, and it's just an unbelievable environment.
It was honestly, I said 234 strikeouts, career high last year, postseason win for you and the Twins. Awesome year. You were also an all-star for the first time, which I think you should have been one at least before. But what was your first all-star game experience last year up in Seattle? How cool was that?
It was so cool. It was cool. It happened quick. I wasn't notified up until the weekend before.
Hmm.
I already had made some plans for the All-Star break. Like I was more than happy to cancel those plans the reason I'm being selected to be an All-Star. And it was just so cool. I it was during WBC, it was cool to be in a locker room with, guys that all-stars, MVPs, all guys from, that have accomplished so much. And then like obviously the All-Star game, then you're like hanging out with all-stars, guys that
Yeah.
have also accomplished so much. So that to me, that's my favorite thing. We were shagging batting practice, and I was just talking to the best guys in the league. Okay, why do you do things? What's your mentality? So like learning from them as much as I could. And you get to it's a fun time to play fun baseball. Like
Yeah.
everyone's just having fun. You get to see everyone just, we're here having a good time. And then you get to play a very meaningful game. And it was just such a cool experience. And I'm very glad that I got to pitch in the game too.
There's a lot that goes on that week. What was your favorite part? There's the derby, there's the red carpet, there's the game, there's you meeting people. What would you say looking back on that few days for you was your favorite part of All-Star Week?
I like the derby. Seeing it in person for the first time was cool. I grew up watching every All-Star, every home run derby.
Yeah.
So having the opportunity to be, in front of the dugout on the field, watching it happen and seeing the guys hit the baseballs. I enjoy the red carpet. It was very unique. I had only seen like the parade or the carpet on social
Yeah.
media in the past, of experience it just walking, and it makes you feel kind of like a Hollywood movie thing. You're like, man, this is for real. This is legit. There's people here cheering as we're just walking, and there's press everywhere. So I did enjoy those. The on-field aspect was like the home run derby, and
Yeah.
then the one off the field was the whole parade, red carpet event.
Who was your favorite person that you met?
I really enjoy meeting Michael Lorenzen. I got a ton of information about from
Cool.
him on how to take care of your body.
Yeah.
He's very into the body awareness, feeling athletic, feeling strong. I enjoy talking to George Kirby from
Okay.
Seattle.
Yeah.
The guy throws a ton of strikes, nasty. So I just wanted to get a feel for his mentality. Like when you're on the mound, what do you tell yourself to attack hitters, to get after them?
Yeah.
So like I said, you're surrounded by the best of the best. So if there's any opportunity to learn something, why not go ahead and take it? There's a famous
Yeah.
story of Roy Halladay learning the cutter from Mariano Rivera in the 2008 All-Star Game. So it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you about two young guys on the Twins. First up being Royce Lewis. Talk to me a bit about that guy and just how much fun he is to play with.
Man, he's so much fun. We were actually locker mates last season. His locker was next to my locker, and I'll tell you that we didn't have a lot of hair gel going on, but we had a lot
Mhm.
of good vibes going on. That guy is so fun. That guy is like, he's electric, and then he's just like the nicest guy of the field.
Yeah,
He wants to put a smile on your face before he puts one on his own face.
that's
He's
awesome.
always checking on you, and then that same attitude, I think, is what allows him to play the game with the fun and that freedom that he plays with. Like he knows
Yeah.
he's thankful for the opportunity. He's blessed to be in that situation, and he just goes to the plate with that tremendous amount of confidence, and does all the cool things that he can do. So I mean, just such a good player, but an even better human being.
Yeah, I had him on. He was on the show very early on, one of the first ever guests of the show, and just became a big fan of his. And it's so good to see him healthy. One, and now we're able to see what he's able to do when he is healthy and able to play. I mean, dude, last year, how crazy was it? Every time he came up with the bases loaded, he was hitting a grand slam. I mean, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
This is such a crazy stretch. He hit one like last week in spring
He
training,
hit one
already
last week.
mid-season form.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Next up, I got to ask about Edouard Julien. He's a guy that during the World Baseball Classic was watching him and was like, I think this guy's going to be a stud. And then last year really showed that he is going to be a stud. How cool is he to play with?
No, he's so cool to play with. You mentioned the WBC, and last year, my first weekly camp, I was overwhelmed meeting people, waiting for them to put their jerseys on so I can start learning some last
Yeah.
names. And after the WBC, I'm like, oh, that's a guy that's in camp. Like I've
Yeah.
seen him before. Like he's actually pretty good. I was watching all WBC games, obviously the Canada games. And then I started asking about him and learning about who he is. Then he gets called up in Yankee Stadium, and then he starts showing what he can do. And like he's one of those players that if you're pitching against a team and you see the lineup and you see his first name like leading off, you're like, man, like like he makes you feel that way. He's the guy that makes you feel like I have to be on my A game. I have to
Yeah.
challenge him, and he steps in the box, and he's not afraid to hit with two strikes. He's not afraid to take close pitches. Like he's just there to make a good contact. He knows it only takes one good swing on the ball to make something happen. And then he started working a lot on all the other aspects of the game. He came up knowing that he could hit, but knowing he could make some adjustments, some other
Yeah.
aspects of the game. So he was always the first guy doing early work to get better. He showed up to the big leagues wanting to get better. What can
Yeah.
I do to help the team? What can I do to provide more value, more wins? So, you see that hunger from a young guy, and you're like, this guy's special. This guy can be really good for us for a long time. So, as a pitcher, and I don't get to like interact with him much. I mean, not as much as I do with my
Yeah.
pitcher
Of
and all
course.
that. But like when I see him on the field, first one there, just taking grumble after grumble after grumble, like we noticed that, and then he shows up in the game.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.